All right, we jumping ahead a little too fast. It's an MC named Shan.
What about Shan?
Look at his face. Look at his face. He's like,
He had a record called
Huh?
The Bridge. He had a record called The Bridge.
Right, uh-huh. Yeah.
Like that changed the world.
Yeah, he was, he's from
Yeah,
Queensbridge.
well, I know we skip over that, so let's go back to that.
Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that.
Now, one thing I can say, Mr. Magic was my rival, and he always talking shit about me on the radio.
Right.
Forever.
Right.
Marty was producing all the hits.
Right.
I was never the type of person that, because you making hit records, I'm not gonna play them. I'm gonna play them.
Yeah.
Even though he ain't playing anything affiliated with me. But I play all the records he produced.
Right.
If they hitting, they hitting.
Right.
So when The Bridge came out, I was playing The Bridge. Meanwhile, there was the dispute between Scott and Chris with Magic over some discrepancy, and they had a record that came out on Sleeping Bag Records. The record got dropped. And here it is, some animosity with Magic. Well, you know Magic could have mouth.
Right.
They came across this label called Rock Candy Records. And they came across this record label. They went into the studio for maybe $50 or less or more, I don't know. One take of making this record. I'm in Latin Quarters the night that they brought it in there, because that's when it used to be Celebrity Tuesdays with the Awesome 2.
Right.
And a DJ named Raul in Latin Quarters. You know, there used to be this hard plate they call acetate. You know, it's real hard. You know, not like a regular vinyl. And you only get to play a couple times because it fades out.
Wow.
So they handed it to Raul, and Raul put the needle on, and spontaneous, everybody loved it. It was South Bronx. Everybody going crazy, you know? And he even took it, before I got to it, he said, yo, I'm gonna play it from the beginning again. He played it, everybody going crazy. So after he finished playing it, here it is that he gave it back to Scott. Scott gave it to me, he said, this is for you to play on the radio. So now here it is, and I come on for the first time playing it. First I played To the Bridge, to the Bridge.
Yeah.
But I slammed in when it came to the chorus, To the Bridge, South Bronx, South Bronx. So yeah, I instigate that.
Yeah,
shit.
you started the whole thing. You started the whole thing.
And my reason for that, because I know how they was coming at me.
Right.
Now and also Scott is putting me on with the crew.
Right.
I said, okay, I got a team to go after them.
Bang.
Just like here it is. When he came out with the Roxanne, I was playing all Shantae's records.
Right.
But every time I played Shantae record, I came back with Sparky D. So it's almost the same thing.
Right. Wow.
Equal opportunity.
Wow. So how was that when you met Chris and K, when you met Krs-One?
With Scott, I knew from a long time before.
Yeah.
You know, because we had something in common, playing ball and everything. So he used to DJ uptown, and up in Harlem. And then when he always asked me about the business, so when he always say, I want you to be a part of this. And that's when I got to meet Chris for the first time. And that's how that came about.
When you heard Chris, what did you think?
Huh?
Same question.
Yeah.
What was your impression of him when you heard Chris?
Average, you know. I said,
Wow,
yeah.
really?
Because I ain't hear him yet.
Okay.
This is before I even got the record.
Right.
Got you.
You know, I'm like, yo, what's up, man? Now hearing on this record for the first time, I like, oh, wow. Oh, this guy got it.
Yeah.
And then what really impressed me more when I heard the next record, The Bridge Is Over, where they asked me to come to the studio and do my famous slang.
Right.
You know? And that's when, you know, I guess by me doing my famous phrase made it official that I'm a part of the crew. That's what it was.
It's the phrase.
Huh?
For people who don't know. I'm trying to get you to say your famous phrase.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't do it no more.
Ain't that a blip?
You might as well
My
say
voice ain't the same.
Yes, I mean, you can at least...
Yeah.
Come on.
He doing it for me.
Yeah, no.
He doing it for me.
Yo,
Love
plenty
that.
of people can play Lucille, but I want to see BB King play Lucille. You dig what I mean? You BB King, that's your thing.
Now I'm gonna tell you, for the past couple of times I've been with Chris at certain occasions, and I get the bill up to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. My voice ain't the same.
And somebody-
I still got a promo that I still press that I play on the radio, and you still hear it.
Yeah.
And that joint is over 30 years.
Over 30 years old. Wow.
It's not the same as getting to see you do it in person.
Yeah. Where they come from?
Me and Power Wow of the Soul Sonic Force, we used to always joke about there was a cartoon. And it's a cartoon of this chicken that was considered like a chicken hawk. And he was named Louis Foghorn.
Yeah.
And every time he always saying something, he at the end of the phrase say, yes. Yes. He was always known for doing that.
Yeah.
So every time we and Power amongst each other and we seeing something that's going on that's funny to us, we always look at each other and say, yes. So when I started doing promos for my show, the radio show, I took that yes and I left in it. That's what I did.
So it's really a yes.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. What was the backlash between the bridges over and what
It was never no
the drama?
physicality.
It was never no physicality.
Never.
All right.
But the blessing turned out to be years later after that because, put it this way, I remember when I met Magic the first time after he dissed me. And Larry Smith, rest in peace, he used to be the producer for Houdini. Mm-hmm. He was at the Club Danceteria. And the first time I ever got to meet Magic face to face, I seen Magic before from the heydays, but I really not face to face. And Larry Smith instigated the shit. He said, Magic, this is Red Alert. Red Alert, this is Magic. Magic, he is busting your ass. This is Larry Smith talking that bullshit. Right. And then, Magic is going to talk such. And then right after, every time we saw each other, we just give each other a nod.
Yeah.
Point of respect. Even though I know he was talking grimy about me.
Right.
But, and there's sometimes during my show, I have some promo songs going after Magic. Somebody being a nice one, read off of Houdini, big mouth. Sorry, Mr. Magic. I had them type of promos. Right. So imagine now, I'm going on the road with Sparky, and we always doing shows with Shantae. And if we going on the road with Shantae, who I always saw, first Marty did it a couple times, but here comes Shan being her DJ. Right. So now we on the road. We doing gigs. But we always had a sense in our mind saying, listen here, we know we rivals, but we in another state, city, wherever it is.
Yeah, we together.
Anything go down, fuck all that rivalry, we sticking together.
Right.
That's what it was. So I had the same mentality once we was rivals with them, the Juice Crew, according to what we was doing.
Right.
We never took it any further than that. Which lesson later on, down the years in the 90s, Magic, Shan, Krs-One and we did a Sprite commercial.
I remember that. Obey Your Thirst.
Right.
I remember that commercial.
Awesome.
So from all that turned into a positive down the road, getting a bag.
Yeah, but at the time, the rivalry was really...
It was right, but it never went physical.
Number one for
Right.
you.
But this is the time when people were really competing on wax. Like
Yeah, definitely.
And having two radio DJs to fuel it all.
Well, you know what's so crazy? Because when they used to always say the battle of Kiss against BLS, they was trying to say station against station, but it actually was the rap shows against the rap shows. Mm-hmm. Because during the course of the day, they are as regular. But when it came to the weekends, who you listening to? Everybody said, well, I'm taping Magic. No, I'm taping Red. And they exchange, and then you had some of them who were fans that was going at each other, he better, I'm better, whatever it is.
People forget that this is when hip-hop only came on at 2 o'clock, like midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, and all the rest of the day was R&B.
Yeah, because when I was first doing Kiss FM, I was on from 11 at night to 2 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then I remember that time that I came on, 7 months after me, no, right after I came on, then Latin Rascals came on. Then after Latin Rascals pulled off and go somewhere else, then Chuck came. And they had me and Chuck alternate every week, every other week,
Chuck
until they
Chill Out?
split us.
Was this when you met a young
Right.
Funk Master Flex?
No, I met Funk Master Flex. It's funny how I met Flex. We was up in the Bronx at a place, man, it's right off of Parkchester. It was a Harold's. It was a club called Harold's. It was like a bar club, something like that. And he was an understudy for Flex. And me and Chuck was bumping heads.
He was an understudy for Chuck.
So
Yeah.
as we were bumping heads, so when he saw me for the first time, he would come and talk to me. I know he's talking to me to bat for Chuck.
Well, why were you and Chuck bumping heads?
Well, no, put it this way. I wasn't agreeing with certain things that Chuck wanted to do, and he saw I wasn't for it,
Right.
you know. So
What were those certain things?
There you
I
go.
pay what I want.
There you go.
And the
I'm not going to throw Chuck under the bus either.
Yeah, I understand. But the person I spoke to was Funk Master Flex.
So now here it is that when Flex came to me in defense for Chuck, then we got to talk. We talked about maybe about a good 2, maybe damn near 3 hours. But then he got to learn about me because not knowing what is it that Chuck said about me to him, but by us conversing back and forth, he got to learn more where I stand. To this day, we still have that mutual respect for each other. Me and Flex, I gotta say, never had a squabble, never had an argument. Got crazy respect for each other.
Beautiful. We're going to take a 5-minute break.
It's Hoffa. Trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.